There were several reasons I got involved in hemp, but one of the reasons was my friend Alex Whiteplume in Pine Ridge, because the tribe there said, yeah, you can grow hemp. So he tried to do it, and he did it a couple years, and then the feds came in and knocked it down and put him through all his hassle, so in the end, stopped him. But I understood then the potential that hemp had for the reservations as a way of beginning to develop an economy and an economic base that would be practical. But I also understood that ain't never in the world going to happen for Indians unless white people are aware of this, you know, and it's going to serve their interest about hemp. No offense, but that's reality. So part of the objective was to go out and start to help raise awareness about hemp. But again, I mean, that's one of the things, because the other things, what I was mentioning earlier about, it is earth medicine, and it's about a way of taking care of the earth and meeting all of our needs. You know, but for us as indigenous people, I think that the hemp industry could be very, I mean, agriculture and industry, in a way, could be very, it could be very productive in the long term for the tribes. But when I look at what's really going on in this country, see, the tribes, whatever's happened to the tribes, they're just at the lower end of the spectrum. But whatever's happening is happening kind of like in its own way and shape and form to everybody, no matter if it's the middle class, then they got their own thing that they get put through, you know. And so it's kind of happening everywhere, and we're all confronted by the same dilemma. And when I started looking at things, what makes the most practical sense, because there's all this chaos of energy and motion going on. See, and I think that everything is about energy. So how we apply our energy to what it is that we're concerned with. You know, if we have an issue, if we have a problem, well, the energy, whatever's in the energy we take into creating the solution to that problem is going to be in the solution to that problem. And too many times what's been going on is we've been taking a lot of reactionary, fearful energy, this kind of energy, into create desperation energy into creating a solution, so our solutions always create, there's always a new desperation. So when I look at this, it's like if we could find a way to get people to actually think about what we're saying, I mean, not emotionally just react, but to actually think about the realities of what we're saying about the energy and the reality of this plant, and how it could actually, in reality, it could help to serve many purposes to all of the problems we're confronted with, whether they're environmental, whether it's about industry and jobs and employment. See, all of these things, all right, if we could understand that we have a commonality in that, whatever our individual issues are. So for me, in a way, go back to how the native people, I just remember when this happened to Alex, and it becomes so a part of it is, well, all right, go out here and let's try to create an awareness, all right, about this, because, you know, the hemp plant is like the buffalo; it survives. See, and this is very important what I'm saying, because see, it survives, so it would save the family farm, it would save the farmers, all right, and it would at the same time it would put things like Roundup out of business. See, I mean, these are the real issues that are kind of going on here. But anyway, everything's about energy, and everything's about energy. And when I look at us, you know, when we think, we project energy, electromagnetic energy. I mean, that's what it is. A thought is an electromagnet. It's energy. Anyway, we project energy, and so we're kind of the mind of, well, if we get people to start thinking, all right, but you can only project this energy, this electromagnetic energy, when you're thinking. If you're just walking around believing, you don't project it, you just recycle it inside your head, but it doesn't really change anything. So we're trying to find ways to stimulate, if people would actually think about hemp, think about what we're saying, because we're looking at it as this is an evolutionary solution, not a revolutionary solution, and an evolutionary solution, but we can influence through clear, coherent use of our intelligence. We can influence, all right, accelerate the influence, the solution to this. And to think about our intelligence, and I'll quit here in a minute, to think about our intelligence and everything about being about energy, and the amount of energy we generate as a human being. All right, the amount of energy that we generate when we do it incoherently and chaotically. Have you ever felt powerless, and while you're feeling powerless, how bad can you make yourself feel through your fears, your doubts, and insecurities? And then how does this affect the people you interact with? That's energy. That's your power. All right? And if we could take that same energy, that same power, and use it with clear thinking. All right? And we're asking that people clear think about hemp, about the cannabis plant in relationship to our realities as human beings.
Thank you, John.